Hello and welcome to the pre-race briefing for the Greensand Country Ultra Trail. My name's Chris, I'm one of the event directors for the race, and this video is just going to take you through some of the basic information and things you need to know before you arrive on Sunday. So everything that we talk about in this video in terms of resources and information that you'll need is also all on the website. So head over to greensandcountryultra.com and you'll find everything you need there, directions on how to get there, links to all the GPS files, maps, and loads of other things. So please use that as your primary resource. And then if there's anything else that you have to query after that, then you can send us an email at racing@runawayuk.com. So getting there on the day at Shuttleworth, you're going to be entering via the Old Warden entrance, and once you get there you'll drive down for a little while past the big house on your left, and then you'll be welcomed into the car park area, which is in a field by a marshal, and they'll show you where to park. Once you arrive, head over to the registration tent, which will be a blue tent, and you'll be queuing up and then picking up your race bib for the day, and more importantly, your time in wristband. And this is how we make sure we know where you are on the course at each checkpoint and record your finish time at the end of the race. So please wear that on your wrist at all time, and I'll show you in a second how we scan those at the checkpoints. Now, once you've got that, you can hang out for a little bit. There'll be a coffee van there if you want to grab something, and then the start line opens between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. There is no allocated time for each person. It is a case of when you're ready to start, queue up, and you will be set off as quickly as you can. Tim, who's going to be at the start line, will be welcoming people forward, scanning their wristbands and setting them on their way, and it will take a couple of seconds for each person, so we'll roll through people pretty quickly. Navigation on the day is done via our orange arrow markers that look like this. This is your primary source of navigation for the day, so you'll be following these throughout the course, so keep your eyes peeled for them. The second thing that you'll be using is this orange ribbon, and this will be attached to trees and branches and things like that as a secondary indicator that you're on the right route. In some circumstances where there's multiple footpaths that you could be taking, we may well add the wrong way signage to the incorrect footpaths, maybe not immediately but a little bit further down, so that if you miss a turning and you've run a little bit further down, you then bump into one of these, and that tells you turn around, go back the other way until you locate one of the orange arrows. You will also see this is the only other type of signage that we will be putting out, and this is just to alert you of road crossings and areas of the course that may be slightly hazardous that you'll need to be a little bit more careful around. Now, there's always the chance that you may get lost or come off the route during the run. It's a very long race, 50.6 kilometers of running, and that's a lot of signs to keep your eyes peeled out for, and there's always the chance that you could miss it or a member of public has moved it for some reason. So it's really important that you have a plan of action of what you're going to do if for some reason you do get lost. And there are two things that we'll recommend you do. The first is that you have a route map with you. These are going to be given out at registration. It's an A4 map, Ordnance Survey map with the route marked. This has all the footpaths on it, so if you come off, you can use that to navigate yourself back on the route. If you're not so confident using a paper map, then use a digital map. So please either try and get the route as the breadcrumb navigation on your watch, your Garmin watch or your Sunto watch or whatever you have. A lot of them have that feature where you can download the route to your watch, and it will alert you if you go off it, and you can use it for lefts and rights and things like that. But if you don't have that ability on your watch, then you will have a phone that can download View Ranger or Google Maps or the Ordnance Survey app itself. And we have links to all of those platforms and routes already uploaded to those platforms on our website, ready for you to download and connect up. So please make sure you have access to one of those. We hope you don't need to use it, but it's better to have that as a backup, so that if you do come off route, you don't have to run too much further and you don't stress out too much much about how to get back on the route. If you really are lost and you don't know where to go, then please do call the emergency number and we can help navigate you over the phone, or if not, we can get our closest marshal to go look for you. So please have a look at all of that and just kind of get a plan of action, and you should be absolutely fine on race day. There are a few small road sections that you will be running along during the race. This is on about 4 separate occasions where you'll be leaving a trail, turning onto a road and running on that road for a short section. In the majority of places on those sections, the roads are either quiet or there is enough space to be on a bank, a grassy bank, and you're not going to therefore be in direct traffic. There are a couple of places where you will need to be a little bit careful. For example, there's one section where there's a small bridge, so you're coming in to cross that bridge a little bit. Again, the roads aren't too busy, but if there's traffic there, you just need to be very careful, and we're going to have lots of caution runner signs out there for the drivers, and also these sections where we feel they need are going to have marshals that are just going to be helping you cross over and get to the safer side where there's a bigger space to be able to run or walk. So just bear in mind that that will happen a few times on the route. It's completely unavoidable in the area. Unfortunately, there's plenty of footpaths that just don't connect with each other, and the only way it's possible to get a 50k loop in is to have these very short sections on roads without pavements. But as I say, you can get onto the bank, but just be very careful. Make sure your headphones are out, make sure you're aware of your surroundings, and if you need to, just stop and wait and cross and walk when you feel it's safest. We have 3 checkpoints on the route for you. Those are located at 15.4 kilometres at Haynes Village Hall, 30.2 kilometres in Shefford in a car park, and 39.2 kilometres at a pub in Broome called The Cock. So those are your 3 checkpoints, 15, 30 and 40 essentially. Think tennis scores, that's an easy way to remember it. So take on plenty of supplies at those aid stations. We're going to have water, Coke, electrolyte drinks, lots of sweets and crisps and fruit and things like that. And also when you get there, we'll be asking you to scan in with your time in wristbands. A marshal will show you where to scan that. Either it will be directly, someone will come to you with a phone and they'll scan it, or you'll be touching it onto a reader, and when you do that, you just hold it there for 1 or 2 seconds and it beeps, and that records your checkpoint time. So those are the 3 checkpoints. Now if at any point you feel like you don't want to carry on, that's also a very good place to alert one of the marshals, let them know that you can't continue, and then either you can arrange transport back to the start finish from there, or if you don't have anyone with you, then we can organise that for you. Okay, there will be some medics on the route, maybe at some of those aid stations. They're going to be following the bulk of the runners, so if you do need some medical help at one of the aid stations, we can also get that to you pretty quickly. The COVID restrictions in place for the event are the same sort of things that you're going to be dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So these are going to be the social distancing measures when you're queuing or using any facilities such as the toilets. It's going to be the requirement to wear a face covering when you're going through registration or where you're at one of the checkpoints or using the facilities. It's going to be using hand sanitizer before you take anything from a checkpoint, and generally just keeping your hygiene levels quite high during the day. There's also, of course, the staggered start from 8 until 9 o'clock to enable more social distancing and more dispersion along the route. So those are the main kind of COVID things. Just be mindful of running close to other people, whether that's other participants or other trail users. Just give people as much space as you can when you're overtaking, and try and keep everyone's day as safe as we possibly can. Talking about emergency procedure on the day, so obviously it's going to be a really hot day, so you're going to really need to look after yourself and make sure that you're protecting yourself from things like heat stroke and sunburn. So please make sure you wear sun cream on any exposed skin, make sure you're wearing a hat and keeping yourself covered as much as you possibly can. Now if you get to a point where you're feeling unwell or dizzy, or you feel like you can't continue, if you can get to an aid station safely, then please do that. Get to one of those checkpoints and then we will deal deal with it there, get our medical help in. But if you can't get yourself to a checkpoint, then find some shade, sit down, and then call the emergency number, which will get you straight through to the race director, which will either be me or Tim on the day, depending on who has the phone at that time, and we'll deal with the situation and get one of our event day medics out to you, and you will get looked after. The number I've put on the screen, you'll also be able to find the phone number on the back of your bib. And of course, if you're another runner and you see a runner on the floor that is struggling a little bit, please do stop and sit with them and help them in any way that they need. If there's anything more serious that occurs, of course, as you normally would in any scenario, please call the emergency services. They are going to be the people that can deal with a big emergency situation in the best possible way, but you can also still call our medical team and our emergency number additionally, because we may be able to get someone out to that person a little bit quicker and treat them. So obviously we hope nothing like that happens, but that's the procedure if you need to. If you do decide to pull out the race and you do head off, because you're going to be having these time and wristbands, which we need back, if you do leave without giving that back to us, then we will ask you to post it to us, because they do cost a few pounds each and we have to use them on every race. So if you can bring it back to the start finish, fantastic, or if there's a marshal near you or a checkpoint near you, you can leave it there too. Two things that I'd like you to do, if possible, before you arrive on the day. The first is mandatory, so that is that you need to fill in our COVID symptom pre-attendance check. So this is just to fill in a form that basically says you're currently not experiencing any COVID-19 symptoms, and neither is anyone that you live with. So you just need to declare that via an online form, and that has to be done before you arrive. Now, if for any reason you fail that test, you are currently experiencing COVID-19 symptoms, then of course you do need to follow the government guidelines on self-isolation, and you will not be able to attend the event. So I'll put the link on the screen to that form now, and you'll also find it on our website. The second thing to do is, and this isn't for everyone, this is only if you need to fill in, but please make us aware of any pre-existing medical conditions that you might have. So this could be medication that you're taking, it could be a condition that you're diagnosed with, but it's something that we really need to know before the race, so that if something happens on the day and you're admitted to hospital or our medic team are treating you, that we can give some notice to these people of any conditions that you might have. So again, I'll put the link to the form on the screen now, and it's also on our website, and please make sure you fill that in and give us a bit of detail as to what we might need to expect on the day. I've updated the mandatory kit requirements very slightly to reflect the hot weather conditions. So we are going to be asking all runners to wear a hat or carry a hat with them, or a buff or something that you can cover your head with and get out of the direct sunlight. A lot of you are going to be running for 5-6+ hours, and that's a very long time to be exposed to the hot temperatures that we're going to get on Sunday. So please bring something that can cover yourself. You can also dip that in some water at the aid stations, which is a fantastic way to cool yourself down if you feel like you're overheating. The other thing, we've got a few questions about it, is there a requirement to bring the additional layer, which is either the waterproof or windproof jacket. So we still maintain that we would like you to carry a second layer. That doesn't need to be a waterproof or a windproof jacket, but it needs to be something that you can wear to cover yourself up, either to protect yourself from the sunlight if you get stranded in direct sunlight, whether that's you're injured or you need to walk for a long time and you're getting hit pretty hard, or if you do get injured severely, your body can react in a way where it cools you down very quickly regardless of the outside ambient temperature. So that is something that's really important to keep with you. Most of you probably won't use it at all, and you'll just be lugging it around, but it is really important for those moments that you are going to need it. So please carry a second layer. Everything else is as normal. We would recommend that you wear sunglasses if you can, and even maybe carry a small bottle of sun cream with you to top up during the day. day. We will have some sun cream at the checkpoints, but it's still good to carry some with you if you can. So I'll put the mandatory kit list on the screen while I've been talking about this, but it's also available on our website at any time. The other thing to say about kit is probably the shoe choice. There's no mandatory requirement for you to wear trail running shoes, so please wear the shoes that you're going to be most comfortable with in a kind of off-road terrain, but it's going to be very hard ground. Some of the trails have got gravel on them, some of them are country lanes, but a lot of them are going to be very hard packed mud that's dried up very well in the last couple of weeks. So just wear something you feel is going to be comfortable and get you around safely for that 50 kilometers. So as you come back into Shuttleworth to finish the race, as you re-enter, you'll be running past the house on your left, straight down to the finish line, and once you get there, someone will scan your wristbands and you will be done for the day. Time to relax and grab a beer potentially. We're selling some local beer at the finish line. We've also got a pizza van there who will be selling all afternoon, so do take advantage of that and sit on the grass, enjoy the rest of the day and watch the other runners coming in. We will have some t-shirts available to purchase for £15. These are screen printed cotton t-shirts with the race logo for this year on it, so do buy one of those if you want to. You can pre-order them on the website now if you'd like to guarantee you've got the right size for yourself. As you come through the finish line, we'll give you a couple of seconds to enjoy that feeling, but then we will ask you to take your wristband off and give that back to us, and we will, in exchange for that, give you a nice shiny medal to put around your neck. Spectators are very, very welcome at Shuttleworth. You can come and sit within our field and watch the runners coming in. You can also go to the visitor attraction that is within Shuttleworth. It does cost money to get into, and we do have a discount code that you guys can use if you would like to. So I will put that on the screen now, and I'll put it in the notes of this video, and you can save some money on entry, and it's a lovely thing to do during the day while your other person is out running the course. There is a live results webpage which will be available during the race to kind of follow people's progress through checkpoints. So do give that to your friends or your family that want to follow you on the day. And then once you've finished, you can check your finish time straight away at that same place. So it's at runawayracing.com/results, and there'll be a link to the race there. Fantastic. So that's all we've got to share with you today. Have a great couple of days preparing before the event. We really look forward to seeing you on Sunday on what should be a fantastic day out.